Today I decided to give you a little bit on the type of cars that are mostly being stolen in South Africa. I'm sure you've heard a lot of rumors where people talk about, South Africa not being safe, being a hotspot of car hijack and all that. Personally, I've had my own experience. I've had my vehicle, I've had my motorbikes being stolen away from me a couple of times. And I think I do have some experience to share based on what has actually happened to me in the past. Today, I'm going to give you a few lists of cars that are mostly being stolen in South Africa. It will varies depending on the area where you stay. It all depends. There are a whole lot of people who actually own cars for years and they haven't encountered any issue, and there are some people who also manage to get their car in a week or a month they lost it. It all depends. Once again, it's not like once you buy your own car someone will just bring a gun and then take it off from you, but it is what it is. So today I got a couple of list here, and to start with the first one on the list, cars, honestly, it's something that it's ongoing. It does happen. Honestly, a lot of people tend to steal cars in SA, but it's not every car. There are certain cars that they do target. There are certain cars that these robbers are normally interested in, and the first one will have to be the VW. Yeah, VW. If you have been in South Africa, you probably know that VW is one of the car brands that they actually love. Like, I don't know that each and every country got its potential. Like, there's one specific car that is very much popular in every country. Like, for instance, in Ghana, I think the most popular car in Ghana happens to be the Hondas. Yeah, in Ghana, it's Honda. So everywhere you go, you likely to see a Honda Civic, Honda Accord, any type of Honda, but you're likely to see any of this type of cars. So in SA, the most popular cars available happens to be the VW. There are a lot of them, a whole bunch of them. And one of the most popular ones that are being stolen in South Africa happens to be the VW Polo. I've had a Polo, I think the 2015 version before. It was a Mudova. I actually did not know about it. A colored guy from Cape Town, I guess, came down to Pretoria. I don't know how he got the car, but then he just came to me. It's like, bro, I'm in need of some cash and what a whole lot of stories, and it was just stories too. So he was actually a good liar. He said everything, and I bought his story. I got interested in the car because already I knew that Polo is very reliable. It is a car that it's a hot cake. Anytime I want to sell it, it can go in a blink of an eye. So I just bought it, and then later on I found out that, hey, this car is not actually what the guy was actually telling me. So there were a whole lot of stories behind that. I don't want to go into details about that, but Polos are one of the cars that they normally steal in SA. So if ever you are planning to go to South Africa and maybe you are planning on renting out a car, buying a car, whatever that you got to do with a car, you should be very careful. If ever you want to go with the Polos, just know that you will not be very much safe with the Polo. So Polos, I don't know that there are a whole bunch of them. The Polo 2, Polo 3, Polo 4, Polo what, Polo GTI, Polo. As long as it's a Polo, it's a target. So in SA, Polo, it's a serious hot cake. So whenever you get into SA, be careful when you're driving Polo out there. We also got the Golf, and the Golf happens to be, SA is actually home of cars. Yeah, a lot of people got love for cars in SA. Like, it's just crazy. And the main reason why I'm saying this is because you are even able to see a Golf which is 1980 something still running in SA. And fun fact, one of the most popular, let me not say one, I think the first most popular cars that you are likely to see in South Africa happens to be the Golf one. And the Golf 1 is actually a car that was released, I think, in the 80s. Yeah, I think it was probably in the 80s. So they do have different types of Golf 1. There's the rabbit style and all that. But the Golf 1, the car itself, the Golf 1 is one of the popular cars in SA. As soon as you step foot in, once the plane land game, like, I'm sure if you are to count in 30 seconds, you probably see like 100 Golf 1s in 30 seconds. Like, it's all over. And I'm not only talking about Pretoria, like everywhere. Cape Town, Western Cape, Free State, Mpumalanga, Limpopo. Golf 1 is everywhere. I don't know how that became a thing, but I think the main story behind that car is because of its reliability. The Golf 1 is very, very reliable. I had the chance to own about 2 or 3 of them, and trust me, the car is very old, but it will never let you down. Another reason why they do like it is because of the parts. This car, I think you can, like the service kit, the amount that you actually need to service the whole car, I don't think it will even take you up to 1,000 rand. So if you have about 1,000 rand, you will service this car and even have some balance left. Like, it's just crazy. Like, things are very cheaper. I'm sure oil filter for that car is probably 150 or 100 rand. Like, it's so cheap. Spark plugs, you're looking around less than 200, I guess, for all 4. So that car, it's very reliable. Parts are very cheaper, strong. It will take you everywhere. Like that particular car. And I don't know why these cars are not popular in other countries. Like in Ghana, you can get a Golf 1, but it's not very common. I've been around and I've been checking to see Golf 1s around, but it's once a while you probably see one passing by, and even if you see it, it doesn't even look delicious. Like, it's like into, man, like it's just some rubbish passing by. But in SA, bro, you can see a Golf 1 highly spec'd. Like, you can see a Golf 1 that can actually buy a brand new car. The price is just crazy what they do to Golf 1 there. Like, Golf 1, I've seen different types of Golf 1. So the VW Golfs is just an amazing car. It's just great car to own. If you want a car very cheap, that is not going to break down easily, that is going to take you places, Golf 1. But you should also know that if you happen to own the Golf 1, your chances of owning that car for long is very much limited, because that car is being stolen very easily. Like, they can actually steal that car in less than 5 seconds. You don't even need, because I think that car does not even have a computer box or so. I don't know what it uses, but even if it does, the technology on that car is very, very slim. So a screwdriver can even start that car. So it's very risky whenever you own that car. If you park somewhere, you need to be extremely careful that, okay, here it's very safe. You need to ensure that you have gear lock, steering lock, pedal lock, or the lock, driving lock. Like, all the locks must be there, because you can't risk it. Anywhere you park, by the time you come, Utilo, it's gone. I think I also had one experience. I was in Ridgeville, and that was even a bike, a motorbike. And I think this is probably about 6 or 7 years ago. I parked the bike. I went inside the house. It was late, at around 8 in the evening. I went inside the house, like in less than 15 minutes. I came back, it's gone. And I was actually surprised how I was so shocked, because you guys do know that on a bike, once you lock it, it locks the steering or whatever they call it. So when you take off the key, it locks the neck. Therefore, you won't be able to push the bike straight. Anytime you try to push it, it will just circle around like that. I came out, and then the bike was gone. I was so shocked. I was very shocked. And in that few minutes, we roam around the area. We didn't find anything. And it's been at night. Who are you even going to ask? The next morning, we woke up, and then we asked a couple of people whether they saw someone. They were like, oh, someone was busy carrying the bike on top of their head. I'm like, hey. These people don't miss. SA and hijack, like when it comes to cars, motorbikes and all that, It's just crazy. I've heard a lot of people talk about even super bikes. They are busy stealing super bikes and all that. So no car is actually safe, but then there are actually cars that are more targeted when it comes to, stealing, hijack and all that. Golf 1 is the highest target due to the lesser technology and all that. But then you should know that Golf 3, Golf 4, Golf 5, Golf 6, 7, now there is even Golf 8. All of them, they steal them. They steal them. But then the highest one is the Golf 1. Golf 1, if you buy that car, you must also buy a gun. It goes hand in hand. You can't own that car only. I think VW Bakis, they got it's Amarok VW. Yeah, their Bakis are being stolen as well. But I think on the Baki side, VW is not really that much. I think on VW side, they normally prefer those smaller sedans and hatchbacks like the Golf ones and all that. So Toyota, yes, Toyota. Toyota is also a high target in SA. I think after VW, we can actually put it on Toyota. So on Toyota side, we got the Toyota Etios, and this car happens to be a hot cake simply because of the Uber system in South Africa. So now Etios happens to be one of the reliable cars from VW side when it comes to Uber. The Uber guys, they normally prefer using the Etios for their work and all that. And it's actually a nice car. I think I had the chance to drive one Etios, and guys, you can drive that car for ages. Like, petrol is very cheap. You don't even need to sweat to pour 1,000. Just put 200. You go Johannesburg and come back. Like, that car is very reliable. And I think, SA, as long as the car is reliable, lesser on fuel, it doesn't give too much problem. Parts are cheap. It's a hot cake. So I think that is where we should actually start our conversation from. So Toyota Etios is also a hot cake. So if ever you are buying it in SA, just be careful. Whether the sedan, the hatch, they are all the same. They still them wire like it will go quick. Another thing is the Toyota Hilux. Yes, that big back Hilux. They like that one very well. Toyota Hilux, they will steal it very, very quick. So if ever you are planning to, and do know that Hilux is a very expensive car. I think maybe second hand you can pick one up for roughly 600,000. Somewhere there. Should be somewhere there. Well, it all depends on the year model. But Toyota Hilux, it's also on the list, one of the cars that are mostly being stolen in SA. Still on the Toyota side, the Corolla, the Yaris, both of them, they like stealing them. So if you are someone that wants to go for this type of Toyota, you should be very, very, very careful about that. You should make sure that you have all the safety features. Insure the car, do all the necessary stuff, because it's not promised. You might be driving today, tomorrow it might have another owner. So yeah, it is what it is. So moving on to the next one, which is the Nissan. On the Nissan side, I don't think it's got too much there, but they still do. Still from the Nissan side, but from what I've observed, the most popular ones that they normally steal, the most common ones, is the Nissan 1400. That's a Baki. It's a very old Baki. I'm not sure if it's the 70s or 80s. It's a small Baki. I don't know if you guys know it. So Nissan 1400, they take that car easily, quick. I don't think that car also runs on a computer box. I'm not sure what it runs on, but to start that car is very quick. Even a screwdriver can start it. So Nissan 1400 is a car that a lot of people really, that car, if you have it, it's more like the Golf 1. That car does not break. That car will take your load from, it's very small. Like, if you see it, you underestimate it with the body size, but the things that car can do, to amaze you. So the next one is MP200. Yeah, MP200 is also another hot cake when it comes to the Nissan family. Like MP200, I've seen a lot of people complain, like a lot of friends that I got, they're like, hey, my car is gone. If you ask them what car, MP200. Like I said, they normally target a car that they see that, okay, this car will benefit them. Because 1400, MP200, these are cars that, bro, the parts are normally interchangeable. I think these cars, you can swap. I think they share the same parts with the Renault. Yeah, Nissan Renault, I guess. Yeah. I stand to be corrected, because I once had one Nissan. No, I once had one Renault. I think it was the Renault, Renault what? Is it Scenic or Megane? I can't remember what Renault that was, but then it was actually using the same engine with the MP200. So they normally share parts across cars and all that. So I mean, it becomes a hot cake when it happens like that. And it's not like they when they steal it, they are straight away going to use the car. Forget about it. They are not going to use the car. I'll tell you what they will do with the car when they steal it. Let me finish with the list. So the next one is the Ford. Yeah, when it comes to the Ford side, I also don't know much. I haven't actually heard much complaints from that side, but the most complaints that I do hear from the Ford side is the Ford Rangers. Yeah, Ford Rangers is a very hot cake in SA. They take that car anyhow. Yeah, it's very big and it's got all the high technologies, but I'm not sure how they do break into that car to start the car. But I've actually heard that those cars actually got some plugs in front. I'm not supposed to be saying this now, eh? Now someone will be taking note and the next thing they'll enter main lane more. They'll say Vhim said you on your own. So with those cars, I heard they actually got some factory plugs by the headlight side, and this is actually for the manufacturer use. So normally when a customer claims that the key is broken or misplaced, they use that particular plug to bypass the system to start the car. So that is how, I mean, it's benefiting both sides, in as much as the company is using that to help customers. Criminals are also taking advantage of that, so they can just use their tools to bypass that, and then obviously they'll start the car and head straight to it. And everything can happen in less than 5 seconds. Like, it's that quick. It's very fast. Like, by the time you buy your meal co-shop, right, you come back, it's gone. Like, it's gone. You come back, nothing there. You can't park there. The next one is the Ford Fiesta, and I've actually owned the Fiesta as well. But I think the most Fiesta that I normally get complaints on happens to be the newer models. I think from 2010, 2012 upwards, they actually love that car because it's also a strong car, a very reliable car as well, and it's got some serious performance. Or I mean, those Fiesta also, like the Fiesta, the Focus. I actually got a lot of people complain about those particular. But with Ford, there isn't much that I can actually touch on the Ford side. But like I said, the most stolen cars in SA, I mean, the car brand happens to be VW, Toyota. Those two companies, you should just look out, especially Golf 1. Golf 1 is the first one on my list. Golf 1, I know that car is cheap. I mean, it's with Golf 1, you can pick a standard one, not customized. Maybe you can get it for probably 30K, 35, 40K. Yeah. If it is highly spec'd with BBS, like turbo boost and all those things, air suspension, yeah, now we're talking money now. You're probably looking somewhere around 60, 70, especially velocities and all that. They become expensive when they spec it up. So it all depends. But Golf 1 is the first one on the list. But that doesn't mean if you have other Golfs, you are not a target. Like the whole Golf family, Polo, I mean, Etios, you should be very much, I mean, just open your eyes, your ears, your legs, your lungs. Whenever you are driving, it's not safe. Hey, sometimes you can be driving, they'll just come in front of you. Hey, stop. You think SAPS is about to wish you a happy birthday. You walk home. You might be surprised, okay, but then you do have the trackers and all that. When they take it, you can locate it back. It's not that easy, my sister. Calm down. It's not that easy. So when they take the car, they normally take it to the location. Location, I mean, Hamaskra, Soshankuve, Attridgeville, like all those places where it's very tough for you to track. You know, like there are some places that they can take your car and no car tracker, no tracking company can even locate it. I do know. Like I've seen it. I do, but I'm not can only experience, man. Like if they take your car and they take it to Mushongu, Attridgeville, Mushongu, forget you won't. Just buy a new car because that area, man, you know how they've actually structured that area. It's a location, first of all, and it's got cuckoos and shit, I mean, shade and all that. So once the car enters there, You can bring thousands of helicopters, they won't find that car. So they wait, they keep it there for about, I think it all depends on what type of car, obviously. But if it's a Golf 1, they'll keep it for a maximum of 2 days. The next day, they start stripping the cars. But if it's a car that they want to use, then they'll keep it for probably a week or two, close to a month, until you forget. Then they'll start using it. They'll change the chassis number, change colors and all that. But Moldova, man, I once bought one Moldova. I didn't know. Hey, Marana, I've been buying Moldovas, man. And the funny thing is, you wouldn't know. It comes with the papers, everything, man. Like, straight everything. One guy sold me one Moldova. It was a Renault what? Renault something, I forgot. Sold me a Moldova in Midrand. I sold it to another person, but now this car became a problem. But anyway, if you guys want to hear the story, I'll make a video about that. But so far, these are a list of cars that you should be very much, aware of. They are hot targets. So if ever you want to move to South Africa and you are thinking of renting out a car, just know that these cars. And it's quite funny because BMW, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, they do still them, but then chances are very slim. Well, it all depends on what type of Mercedes anyway, what type of BM. It all depends, but you likely hear about them. But it's not like they don't steal them, but they do. Just that it's very much limited, simply because, with Mercedes, Audis and all that, they go high technologies. But by the time the person breaks in to start the car, you already come out and catch the person. So chances are very slim on those luxurious cars, but it's not like it doesn't happen. I've heard people complain that Mercedes, especially Mercedes A series, they go wire. Even Audi's A3, A4, like they go. So it all depends on, the area where you are staying, like I said, and how you take care of your car. So overall, it is what it is. Let me know if you have had any experience based on this whole situations. Let me know if you have heard about this, and if there is any that I didn't actually include, feel free, put it in the comment section. Let's share thoughts, let's share ideas. Or you never know, maybe I might be wrong somewhere. And once again, these are not scientific. These are just lists that I've compiled based on my own research and experience. So if you have any to add, drop it in the comment section. If you are new on the channel, please subscribe click on the subscribe button, do all those clickings, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe. Peace.